Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's take another look here at Cardano, see what's going on. I got some alerts that triggered overnight here for this coin, XRP, and a few others, so I'll try to cover those here today. Just kind of, give me an indication I want to reevaluate, see if it's worth taking a trade or not. Because again, those were longs I was looking for with confirming factors above specific moving averages. So we'll go ahead and see if that works out. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. Thanks again so much for watching. I do typically like to look at liquidation levels first before we get started, just so you can kind of get a baseline on, where the liquidation levels are at, where people are hedged the most, and what incentive the whales may or may not have in either direction. Just important things, just adding tools to your tool belt. If you're new to the channel, been watching for a while, thank you again so much for being an amazing part of my life. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below if you get a chance. Love to hear from you. We do also have a Trading Academy community and signals group. Link down below. Check that out on your own time. Got a lot of new members coming over. I highly recommend, please read through our Trade Alerts channel. This is a newer feature to kind of just give you insight on coins I'm planning to trade. And then, of course, Signals Guide. Obviously, you want to make sure before you take any trades with me that they are trades that you want to take that meet your own risk tolerance. Okay. Again, awesome stuff, but only if used effectively, right? Pretty much anything else like that in life, right? So just take a look here. Last 7 days, we can see 98 to 104 is that heavier concentration liquidation just above the local high. That's pretty much as per usual. That's really common for us to see that. There is liquidation on the downside too as well, somewhere in the range of 90 cents even. So if the price does end up pulling back, a wick down to 90 cents would make sense because again, there's some late longs there effectively in profit right now. Okay. We'll take a look at the macro. We can pretty much see here that there's a large chunk between 83 and 80 cents. I think we're a ways away from that, but on the same accord, Bitcoin, makes moves towards low 90K or sub 90K range, then sure, Cardano's going to probably hit that. But this coin has, in fact, and we'll look on the charts, you'll see it here soon, the price action looks pretty good compared to most altcoins, and especially compared to Bitcoin too. So a lot of times I try to trade coins like that. I also like to trade coins that are overextended like this for a long time. If you've been watching my videos for a little while, short while, however long, you'll probably note that you've likely learned that liquidation delta, when it stays too high for too long, or in this case, too low for too long, it gets to a point where there's this critical mass. The price has to respond and recover. So with the charts looking decent and paired well with Bitcoin, and we see this liquidation delta, too many people are shorting this coin at the same time, and it stayed high for too long, that's usually a recipe for reversal. So again, pending Bitcoin doesn't have some crazy weird dump this weekend, we probably will see Cardano continue to increase. Now take a look here. We can see open interest. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit, see if there's any heavy concentrations, which there are. 92 cents. A lot of folks are heavy here at 92, just below the price action. So that reaffirms 92 cents as a potential support range, and of course 98 cents as a potential resistance. So what do you do with that? You secure profit just before resistance levels. That's generally the best practice. And if you see with the liquidation is at 98 cents or higher. So in essence, you want to consider securing profits just as the price achieves this local high, right? Which is 97.5, 98 cents. That'd be a great place to consider taking profit. Again, not a ton of meat on that bone, but on the same accord, this market doesn't really allow for us to be like holding things to infinity anymore, right? It's never truly been that way, but even more so nowadays, just with how aggressive the candle wicks are and the uncertainty at this, $90,000 to $100,000 range for Bitcoin. All right, so daily time frame, moving averages, we're right there, smack dab at the 20-day SMA. That's generally favorable, but also not. In other words, we want to close above that, so a closure above 94.4 would be good. But generally speaking, that's not going to say it's going to work as a resistance because that's not how they work. But we're almost above that trend line, kind of letting us know that we're breaking bearish, breaking bullish, but we're not. We're not there yet. Okay. We are, however, really close to 50 in the RSI, which is also another sign that that's a resistance. But furthermore, we break through that level, that threshold, the price will probably continue to run. We can see MACD and stochastic RSI kind of swinging down. Those are pretty standard. Nothing really too crazy here. I would say the daily time frame is neutral to bullish, which don't misinterpret the word bullish. I don't think we're going to see the price just take off super crazy, but I do think that there's more potential, and I'll explain why here on the smaller time frame. So we take a look here at the 4-hour time frame. We can recognize, first of all, that we're above the 20-day SMA. That's probably where my alert triggered last night. And then, of course, we can see here as well that we're right there at 50 on the RSI, really close. Okay. Now, breaking free from that would be very positive, but leading into it, if you can kind of see, we've had this bullish backtest of that horizontal trend line here. in a couple of ways, right? So we got that on the RSI. We've also got areas on the time frame here as well, where this 0.236 fib level and the local high is retested. And of course, MACD converging too. So while this is not perfect, I love that the money flow index is higher than the RSI, telling us that this coin is, it's not oversold and it's more desirable, but also we have money to sustain the price action. Okay, that's generally what that implies. Because again, money flowing in higher than the perceived value of the coin is a much better scenario than the inverse. You don't want money flowing away from a coin while people think that it's that it's a bad value, it's overextended, right? So again, it's never exact science, but those are more favorable signs to me. So while the 4-hour time frame isn't perfect, it's certainly looking pretty good. And this is another thing that I love here as well, because I'm a firm believer of the Ichimoku cloud and how beneficial it can be. So if you take a look here, you can see that we're above the cloud. We have been for about 1, 2, 3, 4 hours. That's usually a good check mark for me. The lagging span is pretty much free and clear of the price action if you exclude this aggressive little candle wick up. Okay, and then of course conversion line and baseline, the conversion line is starting to intersect to the upside. So while again, not a perfect scenario, we got 2 out of 3 reasons why taking a long makes a lot more sense than taking a short at this point. Now again, you got to recognize, please understand this, Bitcoin dumps, Cardano will probably too. I mean, this is a good looking coin here compared to the price action for Bitcoin. It's performing much better than majority of other coins that are making lower lows and lower highs. But the truth is, you have to realize that any trade comes with a caveat that Bitcoin could literally drop its bottom. Bitcoin is breaking bullish, but it's not there yet, okay? So please recognize you do take along with this coin or any other coin, it'll carry inherently more risk than the others, and you just need to be mindful of that when you go into it. So how do you minimize risk? You lower leverage. That's simple way to do it. Lowest leverage possible or no leverage is probably the best. And then alternative to that, of course, only use a small percent of your total portfolio, 5% or less every single time. That's the recommendation for my community. We all, while we may not be thriving like some Dogecoin millionaires out there, like you'll hear these random stories. For the most part, we're lowering our risk. We're consistently staying in the market because we're able to sustain these ebbs and flows, and we're not getting destroyed. We're not getting liquidated. There's none of that. Okay. So if you're tired of it, come on over. If not, that's cool too. I get it. Everyone has to learn their own way, but make sure you do some demo trading if you've been, kind of on a losing streak. Take a walk. Do whatever it takes to be a better you, right? Reset and do what it takes. All right. Anyways, thanks again so much for watching. I hope that makes sense and I described this correctly. I'll post a trade alert and a playout chart here shortly on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord if you're not familiar. That is all provided there for you. And I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Have a good one. Thank you so much.